You're watching Cam Harlin submit me in the finals with an armbar at the IBJJF San Diego Open on May 20th. And here's our rematch just 2 weeks later in the finals of one of the largest competitions in the country, the IBJJF Master International North America. I'm Josh, a BJJ blue belt, and for the past year or so, I've been competing almost every weekend, trying to improve my jiu-jitsu while traveling all over the world. When I started my competition journey last year, one of my first competitions was the IBJJF World Championship, and now I'm headed back a year later to compete at 2 competitions back-to-back in the same venue in Long Beach, Master International North America and the World Championship the following day. Throughout my travels, I've made a lot of friends and what you might call friendly rivals. People who I always end up in the same bracket with and who are really tough competitors. This Master International will be a bit unique as I just won the European Master International this year, so this would be my second Master International win on a second continent. The other reason it's unique is that I have the chance to rematch against Cam Harlin, who I just lost to 11 days ago in San Diego. If we both make our way through the quarter and semifinals, we could end up in the finals together, battling it out for the gold medal. Keep watching to find out who will come out on top.
It's Monday, packing all my stuff up, headed down to Los Angeles to stay with Mr. William Carroll. So we're headed to Worlds. And the Master International North America competition. Now, the reason they're even holding 2 competitions back-to-back is because the World Championship only has adult divisions, which is ages 18 to 29. And then the Master International is for ages 30 and up. So if you wanted to compete at the same venue where the World Championship is, but you didn't want to do an adult division, you can go do the Masters International competition. If that sounds confusing, it kind of is, but the main point is that I'm going to be going down to Long Beach to do 2 competitions back-to-back on Wednesday and Thursday. All right, we're driving to LA because last week I had some congestion and allergies and stuff, and on the plane ride to San Diego, I'm currently in San Jose, by the way. On the plane ride from San Jose to San Diego for a competition last weekend, I got really bad airplane ear, and I went deaf for like a solid 2 days during competition. I don't want that to happen again. I don't think it would because my congestion is gone, so I'm not flying to LA. So the 6-hour journey begins. I'm headed to Master International right now. I don't know what time it is. I'm not wearing a watch. Like 7:30 a.m. competition, or my bracket starts in 2 hours. So I'm gonna head out right now. It's the lovely Long Beach view.
So now we start the quick drive to the Walter Pyramid, and I'm kind of having deja vu because I came here last year in 2022 for the World Championship, and I won my first match and lost my second match, and now here we are again, but this time for 2 competitions. The Pyramid is a pretty historic venue. I heard that they hold all kinds of different sporting events here, but this has been the home to the World Championship for quite some years now. I actually arrived pretty early, which is kind of typical for my specific division. I'm in the blue belt lightweight division, and they usually put us first before everybody. I'm not sure why it works out like that, but I think it's because we're normally one of the biggest divisions. It's 8 a.m. and with an hour and a half before the competition starts, people are starting to finally trickle in, and it's going to get pretty crowded. And in the meantime, I look up in the stands and spot Cameron. I competed with him in San Diego, and he beat me in the finals there with a pretty slick armbar. And he's in my division again, so hopefully we can meet in the final for a rematch. I also spot a few well-known faces like Joao Miao right there on the warm-up mats. And if you're into jiu-jitsu, you might also recognize a few of these people too. And across from the commotion on the warm-up mats is the podium where the winners will receive their medals. Referees are now in the center of their mats, which is a signal that the competition is about to start, while I scout my bracket from the stand since I got a bye in the first round.
The fights may now begin.
This is the same mat that I'll be competing on in just about 30 minutes or so. I'm now in the bullpen after my first match, which I won by a pretty quick ankle lock in under 30 seconds or so. I went on to do the same thing in my second match, the semifinals, but I don't have video for these because we weren't allowed to record and the streaming partner didn't catch my first 2 matches. I'm now waiting for an opponent for the finals, and lo and behold, it's Cam Harlin, the guy who beat me in San Diego. So it begins. My plan so far is just like my first 2 matches. Get to Ashigarami and finish with an ankle lock, but I'm having a much harder time than anticipated because he's really good at defending the ankle lock. Here, Cam actually grabs my ankle and goes for a belly down ankle lock, and I thought I was almost going to tap here, but I didn't. Instead, I defend the ankle lock by grabbing his collar and trying to basically just wiggle out of it. The ref did award him the advantage for that, but he wasn't able to submit me with it, which is good. I go to crank on the ankle just one more time and give it my all, but I just don't get it. I get a double pant grip so I don't lose control of his lower body, and I look at the clock and see that time is starting to run out, so I need to start looking at scoring some points instead of just going for the submission. The ref awards me the 2 points for the sweep, and I actually fall back immediately to try to get the ankle again, but I don't want him to come up and get a sweep, so I come up again and just try to pass his guard. I force half guard, being very careful not to make the same mistake that I made in San Diego that cost me that finals match, and I instead go for a crazy dog pass this time and bulldoze my way to side control for 3 points. I now want to start racking up the scoreboard, so I'm going to look for knee on belly, but I don't quite get it. I do get the advantage, however. Since he bellied down, I start looking to take his back. I have 1 hook in, and he's going to roll over pretty quickly, so I need to be really careful to maintain the proper back control here. I'm taking my time to really sink in 2 double underhook lapel grips so that I can aggressively roll him over into back control and put both hooks in for the 4 points. I look at the clock, knowing that I still have about 1.5 minutes left, and I really don't want to let him escape back control, so I need to take time and really settle in my grips if I'm going to go for any type of choke. I think at this point he's pretty gassed out, and as a last-ditch effort, he goes for one of those cheeky little ankle locks from the back, but I see it coming, and I sink in a sliding collar choke for the submission. Cameron is a really cool guy and a really great competitor, so we both take a moment to thank each other for the really tough fight. With that, after giving up my apartment to travel and compete, and an entire year of competing basically every single weekend, this is the 2nd major competition that I've won. The first being the Master International Europe in Barcelona just earlier this year in 2023. With this win, I can now say I'm number 1 in the world in my IBJJF gi division and number 7 overall across all Master 1 blue belts in the gi. It ain't much, but it's honest work. We make our way over to the podium to receive our medals, and that's it. Even though I managed to get first place this time, this isn't a story about payback or redemption or revenge. This is just about having fun, getting better at Jiu Jitsu, and meeting cool people along the way. And I accomplished all of that today.